Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video, I've got posts from Relationship Advice, Am I the A-Hole, and Malicious Compliance. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now, I'd like to thank all of you that support me, either as YouTube members, Twitch subscribers, or when you donate during the live streams. Your support means a lot to me, so thank you. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's from user Kanye Makes Them Say. My girlfriend of 6 years, 23 female, is angry because I, 24 male, cannot buy her expensive jewelry for her birthday. My girlfriend's birthday is coming up on the 19th. And I was supposed to buy her a Nike jacket that she has mentioned she wants a few times. A few days ago, I asked if she still wanted the jacket, as the summer was coming and she probably wouldn't have many chances to wear it. She decided against it and said she wanted jewelry instead. She started talking about what she wanted, and then I mentioned the only jewelry store I thought she would like is Tiffany's. She said it was probably out of my price range, but I told her I could go into my savings for it, and she was ecstatic. I put aside a budget from my savings based on what she sent me, which was around $1,200, and I thought I could swing it. I recently got my tax bill after that and owed around $2,000 from my tutoring service. I work extremely long hours and only do this job because I'm graduating from university soon, and it's flexible enough for me to study and work. We come from completely different backgrounds. I am completely self-dependent as I pay for my university tuition, cell phone bill, food and clothing, and everything you can think, while she is completely supported by her parents. I thought she would understand that I got hit by this tax bill and my university tuition is coming up for the spring semester. Maybe she would take a less expensive gift. I tried to hint at it due to the fact she is not very good at hearing things straight up. She seemed understanding on the call, said to take care of my finances, and the hotel room and pedicure was enough. The next day she was distant and did not explain to me what was bothering her. It took her until the end of the night to tell me that I disappointed her by promising her something and not fulfilling that promise. She said she holds herself to a high standard and I should not be her boyfriend if I cannot live up to that standard. I made a comment that nobody in our friend group or anyone else our age is buying jewelry like this unless they have stable jobs with a modest income. She said she doesn't hold herself to what others are doing and considers herself on a higher level. I told her that it would put me in quite a hole and wreck my savings a bit if I bought the gift, and if she would wait for me to save up for it a bit more so I could buy it. She refused, saying it would be out of spite instead of out of love. I sent her cheaper options, but she would not look at them, saying she only wanted those $1,200 earrings and that she deserved them, and she was angry with me for making her feel this way. What do I even do here? Do I just suck it up and buy it for her? I do not even think she would accept it now, but I feel like it would fix the problem. $1,200 is nothing to her due to her family, and I think that's why she's angry, as she doesn't understand how hard I have to work for that money, waking up at 5 a.m. and falling asleep at midnight tutoring kids all day. She is now sending text after text saying, "Sorry, you can't meet my expectations. Sorry, you like to guilt me instead of telling me the truth. Sorry, you're lying to yourself if you think you'll be happy living up to my standards. Sorry, you're such a wuss that you can't straight up tell me crap. And I'm sorry I thought for even a second that you'd actually get what I want after you specifically asked." Yikes, OP, I would have noped out of there after that first text message. Sorry you can't meet my expectations? Excuse me? Do you believe you are God's gift to humanity or something like that? This girl sounds very entitled to a ridiculous degree. OP, it seems to me that she has given you the perfect opportunity for an out with that first message. Sorry you can't meet my expectations. I mean, not to mention all of the other messages which are just straight up horrible. I think you might want to reflect on that. What do you guys think? Do you think OP should give his girlfriend the $1,200 earrings that she said she wanted, on top of the hotel and pedicure that she was already getting? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they had to say about this particular situation. LT Wolverine says, "Dump her. She's just a materialistic, over-entitled bitch. Sooner or later, she's going to leave you for someone richer or better looking. Hate to break it to ya, bro." Grimlock Dust Stuff says, "Better 6 years wasted than 20. This woman ain't it, chief." Overly Derivative says, "If only she would hold her personality to as high a standard as those stupid earrings. I'm not the person on here who tells everyone to break up, but break up. She is literally the worst, like Mona Lisa Saperstein level of dumper. And for the love of all that is good, do not buy her those $1,200 earrings. She doesn't deserve $12 earrings." Well, the community's pretty much agreed that the girlfriend sucks and that OP should not buy the earrings. And I did enjoy the last commenter's reference to Parks and Rec, and if you don't know that show, you should definitely check it out. Now, I did do a little bit more reading into OP's responses in the comments, and they gave us some more context regarding OP, which I think might be interesting for you guys to listen to. So let's move on with that. So here are some of OP's responses. Quote, "No doubt you guys get along or you wouldn't be together, and no doubt she's beautiful, etc. There's a reason you're reading these messages and aren't instantly dumping her." End quote. "She is insanely gorgeous, man. Like, I literally cannot bring myself to dump her as I do not think I'll find someone better. I grew up pretty short and skinny. I did not have good luck with girls, but as soon as I got into really good shape and hit my growth spurt, I basically stuck with the hottest girl who showed me attention, and now I feel stuck." Quote, "Is this a normal reaction for her? Could she be upset at anything else?" End quote. "It's average. She overreacts a lot and I just try to calm her down, and she gets upset at a lot of things easily due to mental health issues. Bipolar." There are a couple of other comments in which OP talks about him spoiling his girlfriend in the beginning of the relationship and then understanding the concept of savings. But what I wanted to drive your attention to was that first comment where he says that she is incredibly beautiful, and that's basically the reason why he's with her. Because, and I quote, "If he dumps her, he doesn't think he'll find someone better." And I think that line puts a lot of things into perspective. So, what do you guys think now? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's from user AdorableVisual6700. Am I the a-hole for leaving my stepmother out of a Mother's Day tradition and telling her to get over herself when she confessed to feeling hurt? The history. I, 29 female, lost my mom in an accident when I was 7. My dad met my stepmother a year later. I met her about 6 months before they got married. I think I was like 9, I was 10 when they got married, just for clarity. We have an okay relationship. She never pushed to be my mom, and I always got the sense she was hurt I didn't see her as a maternal figure. I consider her more like an aunt, and I'm not super close to any of my aunts and uncles, so it's not the same closeness I have with my dad or I had with my mom. When I was pregnant with my son 6 years ago, I came up with this idea to make a little children's book for my future child or children about my mom. Sort of to keep her mentioned, but making it something we could take out and read or look at. So I made up a story about a brave mother who helped and was there for her daughter even in death, and how much she loved and looked out for her and later the grandchildren. I guess you could think of it as like a guardian angel, just without the angel part mentioned. I'm not religious, not even really sure what I do believe in, but a lot of it was stuff I felt throughout my life. Like when I could swear I could feel my mom's presence with me as I graduated or had a bad breakup. When I got married and had my kids. Just these feelings, I guess. My son loves the story. My daughter is still a little too young, but I read it to her too. Every Mother's Day since my son was born, I take it out and read it to my kids, and we have it in a special place. This year, my dad and stepmother decided to stop by for Mother's Day, and my son was telling her about the book and he showed it to her and she got all quiet. A while later, she pulled me aside and said she felt like she was being left out. Like how it would have been nice to say that the mom sent another lady or mom figure, grandma figure, to be there, to offer what she could and to make everyone happier, and how it hurt her feelings that she's not included in the only Mother's Day tradition I have with my kids. That she wished she could be something more, something that I wanted to celebrate on that day. I told her to get over herself, that she gets to be present and my mom doesn't, and that being looked at as more of an aunt-like figure is still more than some people ever get. She told me she was just trying to have a conversation and I was acting like a dick who couldn't respect her feelings or even try to empathize with her. She told me I should have tried to make her feel more included instead of feeling more shut out. Am I the a-hole? I might be the a-hole because I could see she was hurt and trying to be included more, and I reacted in some anger because I feel like she should be grateful to be in our lives instead of trying to chase something that wasn't open for her, a maternal figure in my life. I feel like maybe that was too harsh or could be just a straight up dick thing. OP, I totally understand that the story that you wrote was about your mom and that you don't need to include your stepmom in it. Absolutely agree with that. But did you have to be rude about it? There's nothing wrong with being nice to somebody else in this kind of situation. You could have told your stepmother that the story was just about your mom because you want your children to feel some sort of connection with a grandma they've never met, and that they get to have her as a grandma for every other thing. That's why I think you're an a-hole in this situation, because you could have been nicer, but you chose not to. You chose to be rude. From the way you talk about her, it gives me the impression that you are actively trying to not like her. Even though you say you accept her in your life, that's as much as you're willing to do. A particular phrase you wrote really sticks out to me. You feel like she should be grateful to be in your lives. What do you mean? Like you're some sort of gift that she should just be thanking every day she gets to be treated like some distant aunt by you, and that's as much as she's going to get? I'm sorry you didn't get to grow up with your mother next to you. That must suck. But here was a woman who was trying to at least be part of your life, and you just never really wanted that, which is absolutely fine, but you don't have to be rude about it. So what is your judgment on OP? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's continue with the community judgment. Just No Throws Away says, you're the a-hole, not for leaving her out of the book initially, but for being so cruel to her when she tried to talk to you. Lizzie says, not the a-hole, not because you left her out of the book, but because you were very rude when she, non-confrontationally it seems, tried to speak with you about it. She was right, you acted like a dick when all she tried to do was have a conversation. Ella Bella Modella says, you're the a-hole, not for leaving her out of the book, but for showing her no care or empathy. From your own narrative, she never tried to force you to see her as your mother, but she obviously cared about you, and you've given no indication that she was ever unsupportive or mean to you. There was no need to respond the way you did. I don't think she needed to be or should have necessarily been in the book, but your response being to tell her to basically be grateful you tolerate her seems a disproportionately harsh response. So, community says you're the a-hole. OP did not have to be that rude to tell her stepmother why she wasn't included in the book, which is a sentiment I share. Like everybody said, she didn't have to include the stepmother in the book like the stepmother thought it would be nice to do, but she didn't have to be mean about it. Anyways, now let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's from user Progressive Badger. Owner refused to let me do jury duty. This was back in the 80s. My first job working as maintenance man at a local hotel. I'd been working there part-time since I was 16, and when I turned 18, I got a notice to attend jury duty. I picked a week and let my boss know. The owner of the hotel found out. He was always a completely unreasonable jerk to all the employees, and sees me in the hallway and tells me that I need to do whatever it takes to get out of jury duty because he needs me at the hotel that week for a large dog show, clogged drains, etc. And if I'm not at work, I'm fired. When I get to jury duty, day one, I get selected to a week-long trial, and the judge asks jurors if there's any reason we cannot serve on the jury. They go round. When they get to me, I'm nervous. Never been in court before and too scared to lie. I told the judge that the owner of the business I work at will fire me if I'm not back today, and said I needed to do everything I can to get out of jury duty or I'm fired. Other than that, I'm fine serving. The judge looks pissed. The judge has me approach the bench, asks for the name of the owner, location, etc. Then he hands the court officer a paper and says something to the officer. The judge still looks pissed. I'm told to return to the jury box. About an hour later, still selecting a jury, the officer returns with the owner visibly shaken, in handcuffs, and walked to the front of the judge's bench. The owner is standing in front of the judge. The judge asks him questions, which he apologetically tries to warm out of. Then the judge, looking even more pissed, instructs him that I will be here for jury duty. I will serve as long as I need to, and he should not do anything to retaliate against me. And that the judge is filing charges and will be instructing the clerk to check with me regularly, and if for any reason I am fired or face any disciplinary action at work, he will hold the owner in contempt, violation of a court order, etc. A bunch of legal stuff. And he will spend time behind bars thinking about how important jury duty is. Then the judge makes him apologize to me in court. I made it onto the jury and I served the week. I reported back to work the following week. I expected some blowback, but I never got fired, none of my shifts were changed, and I got paid for my time in jury. I didn't ask why I got paid. The clerk did check back a few times, and I was told to call the judge's clerk direct phone number if anything happened. It was awesome. I was pretty much bulletproof and worked until I saved enough to go back to school. Well, I'm pretty sure that was the last time that hotel owner asked anyone to do whatever they could to get out of jury duty. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.